Hey girls, we're going to look at some scenarios from the WAGS tournament, or from the last match of the WAGS tournament last weekend. Just a couple, some attacking scenarios, and going to start off with some transition to defend situations. So this first one is just off our own throw in, and the main thing we want you to take a look at is just recognizing that there is such a big gap between our six and our center backs, or players on our back line. So really important that we start to squeeze this, because you can see again the gap that their talented forward had to be able to get on the ball is a little too big for us. And then as soon as there's a clearance as well, it's really important that midfielders and backs, we get into the center of the field, or we start to transition and move to protect the middle of the field. So it's one ball that comes out. And again, you can see if we're a lot closer in around here, then it's an easier challenge against this player. Again, coming into areas where we're protecting the center of the field and not worried about this outside, because it looks like Katie, who I guess had taken a corner kick right before, is working her way back in the wide channel. So in this situation right here, even though we've got numbers around the ball, it looks like, Kira, you're starting to go too far away instead of, being a little bit closer to her. And Katie, you could probably slide in as well, because if once there is a challenge, there's a big gap here between, Kira and Delaney. So again, we have numbers back, but that's, a really early situation. Um, where we could have potentially gone conceded a goal and gone down, and it could have been avoided a lot earlier on the field. So again, very pretty similar here. Just again, recognizing the gap that's in between the six and the back line is something we need to focus on a little bit more. If we don't win that ball, you can still see that there's a big gap between, our left back and our left center back, Delaney and Katie here. So before this even happens, as this ball is coming in, we want to get a little bit closer, because you two are the two that are going to stop any sort of counter. And Maya does a good job of getting back. Katie, you're in a good spot now with Maya there. And this is decent in terms of transitioning. But again, can we stop the play on the opponent's half by fixing the gap in between our backs and our six and our backs? So again, we lose the ball here, and now we're in a situation where, again, it's 1v3. uh, for us, I think, Katie, it's important for you to recognize that, Maya and Delaney are able to handle 2v1, and you've got to track the wide player here. So when you started your run, you started to come inside, but instead we want to see you just follow that runner, because that's the dangerous player. That's the player that, if she gets wide open behind the back line, could hurt us. You did a good job of recovering. We've got good numbers around the ball. And now it's just a matter of us securing the ball, recognizing which way Olivia is going to take her touch this way. So maybe it's good, Alexis, for you to start to take this defender away to create a little bit of a gap. Um, and that's where the open space was. A couple punts again. So look at where our center forward is, and then we can see how big of a gap we have, or how big of space we have between that area. So we still won the header, and as we lose possession again, it's important that we recognize, what does our shape look like. So right now, with Lily Stevens going this way, Kira, it's probably good to start to work your way over, and then Katie coming wide here, and then Maya sliding over, so that we at least have numbers there. So in that situation, the ball's poked away. So Katie's, it's a 50-50 ball. So this right here is, again, if you're a little closer, and Kira, like I said before, if you started to work your way that way once Steven started traveling, and then Delaney, we just got caught and jumped a little bit too quickly without any cover in behind you. So it's something we really need to think about, recognizing where the danger is. And the danger, of course, is the space in behind the back line when you're playing against a team that has a forward that is dangerous. Now, again, we're attacking. There's going to be a loss of possession. Again, notice you don't see center backs in the picture in that scenario. See the outside back. So thinking about it this way, if this is your immediate opponent, Katie, and we have the ball, why not maybe get up a little bit higher so that if she does get the ball, we can defend a little bit earlier. And now we're in a 1v1 here with Maya covering. Not too bad here. But the moment, as soon as she starts running, Delaney, it's important for you to just continue to drop and absorb because there's no pressure on the ball in this scenario. So we want to make sure we cover, and not give her a chance to get the ball into their forward 1v1 against either of you. So again, well defended. We got through it, but it's just important. We can probably stop it a little bit earlier and not have to deal with sprinting back towards our own goal. So another no pressure on the ball here when she plays the ball. Look at how our back line is shaped. Pretty decent right here, right? So it's important that we definitely challenge the first ball, and that should have happened right there. And then we're making sure we're covering. So again, here the ball rolls out to her. There's no pressure on her. This is that fraction of a moment or fraction of a second decision that we've got to make as a back line, to really close things up, win this first ball, and then these players can clean up a second ball. But we got to get a piece on the ball and make sure we're bodying that attacker as well. Again, a good individual effort from her, but again, we can stop that as the punt is up in the air, or we can make sure that our back line is up higher when the punt is hit. So just a few attacking scenarios, and we didn't have a lot of challenges throughout the weekend, but that moment here, as far back as this starts, right in this situation, once Stevens gets the ball here and has the time and space to play into Zoe, I think that's Kira on the outside. We could really do, a fantastic job here of having our outside back in this scenario or in this attacking area. And the reason why I think about how this player's body shape, this player's body shape, this player's body shape, her body shape, her eyes are all going to be looking here if we get this ball to the outside back. And then all of you in black are going to be able to get into the 18. So again, not a bad effort to thread the needle, but you can see where all of their defenders are. They're all right here, and the release valve would have been, for Kira to be up here as soon as Zoe got the ball. And again, not you don't want to disrespect our defensive shape, but the recognition is when before in an earlier clip when Lily Stevens was under a lot of pressure, that's when we need to tuck in a little bit. But when Zoe and her and Allie here have time and space, there's time and space. There's time and space right there. That's when we should be flying forward and getting into the attack. Again, how do we get out of this? Is the ball secure? Fairly secure, but maybe we have a 3-4v1 right here that we could probably be a little bit more patient with. Good ball out wide into a little bit of pressure. So, not a bad effort. Just, thinking about what our numbers look like is going to be key for us. Good shot of the VO. So ball security, making sure that we have good time and space. For us here in this situation, you can see where Kira is out wide. Her back is to Maya here in this situation. So it almost makes more sense just to stay narrow for a second and receive the pass, get it back, and then go wide instead of feeling like we have to force it wide because you can see her back still turned and it's a little behind her instead of into this space. So now she's got to come back a little to get the ball. So again, easy to avoid. We just play her a quick pass on the ground. She gives it back, and then we can get into our shape. Once the ball is secure and everybody's maximizing the playing area, then it makes it easier to play to wide channels and play and make runs into the wide area. Same thing here, getting on your horse and getting out wide. What we're trying to not do is go into this again, into this middle area where all the red jerseys are. And can we play out here and create a good scoring opportunity? So just finding that width at the right time becomes very, very crucial for us. So now we want to secure the ball. In this situation, maybe it makes a lot more sense to find Amy here and let her find Maya. Instead of Katie, again, her eyes are looking this direction when she's receiving the ball. Maybe she can open her hip, but she's under a lot of pressure in that situation. Now, can we get the ball into this area and across the field to the other side quick? So there was a moment there where Stevens could have found the outside back, and now the situation here, if we open them up a little bit, we spread these 5 red jerseys out, and we have area here to attack. So again, we've got clear possession of the ball, we've got wide open players out wide, but instead of forcing it through the middle, we want to try and get it out wide to them, because now we're defending all over again and just forces us to kick the ball out of bounds. This one, I think we do eventually get the ball out wide. But again, I just want everybody to pay attention to where all their numbers are and where the open space is. Can we get forward a little bit quicker so that we can get a good service off? We've got okay numbers in the box, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on top. Now it's just the delivery of the service, getting it past those first 2 players. Look at where all the reds are. Can we switch the ball? So again, situation here, can we get the ball out wide in this situation here right away? And still now we have 5, 6 players in and around the box. Again, trying to force it into all the red shirts. If Kira's a little bit wider and goes down here, she's basically crossing the ball on the ground, across that area there. Eventually we get it to her, but we didn't unbalance them at all. We didn't force them to face their own goal. We gave the ball, Zoe gave the ball out to Kira, and didn't give her any time and space. Last couple, just taking a look at ball security. We get possession of the ball. Did we need to kick this ball? Could we have played it back, maybe even into this area here? Do we have to hit it right away? And we shouldn't be feeling that kind of pressure, when we have passing options around us. Ball bounces a lot. Again, let's back up a little bit and just take a look at the goalkeeper has the ball. Goalkeeper has the ball, center forward, all the way back to our center backs here. And you can see that's just it's too big of a distance for us to be able to handle. And then again, can we secure the ball with these players behind, instead of feeling like we have to? And it's not a bad pass. It's just, was the ball secure? And we're still very spread out. And, as we get into some strong competition teams, we don't want to give them the opportunity to punish us. Do we have to play forward right away with the spread out nature that we have, or can we connect a couple of passes here? Again, these are the questions you should be asking yourself when you're saying, okay, could I have kept that? Could we have passed the ball and kept possession in that situation? Could we have played back here right away, protected the ball, and taken a quick little breather? That's decent. And now look at how everybody's calm and everybody's getting into possession or position so that we can start our build up. Probably don't want to play it right into a 4v1. Just just making sure we're all on the same page with that. Like I think we can probably move them a little bit side to side, maybe even bounce Lily here, maybe bounce out wide, same patterns we do, every couple of weeks, play it out, bring it back in and see if we can move them a little bit. Cause as you guys saw, they were just in a 4-1-4-1 and just waiting for us to play the ball in. So just being careful. I don't think Lucy was ready for that either, and just being careful and aware of where the numbers advantages are and where the disadvantages are. But everybody's working hard to get the ball back, which is great. But you can see by us not securing the ball a few times there in one possession, it puts us under a little bit more pressure, and it gives them they're able to play on the front foot. This is good composure here, a good little ball in here. Now the next stage is, can we get in and attack, maybe switch the point of attack here, um, you know, just to give us some other options. So again, just trying to review some things that we look at from the matches. Is obviously a good result and for us and a good weekend. But certain things that we're trying to make sure we're always thinking about and continuing to work on in training. Get in touch with any questions and see you soon.